Welcome to the Red Room. Today I am your game master, OSR Dwarf. And we will today be playing a one-shot adventure set in darker RPG. So today's game, we have four characters. We have an avenging angel with an ancient blade. We have a criminologist with a lust for power. We have a hustler who enjoys the deception. And we have a driver looking for the next thrill.
One of these things is not like the other.
So, uh, today, our adventure will take everyone to South Florida, to Collier City, headquarters of the Sikory Private Library and the Sikory Scholars. And let's talk about what today's game is. And let's start with a question. What is art? The expression of ideas and emotions through some physical medium, or the act of expression? What if art can be more than either an expression or an act? What if it becomes a thing in itself? The painting called Mors Aman Est, Death is Her Lover, first showed up in a small gallery on the left bank in Paris in 1845, with a simple note below it by an anonymous gentleman. It sat in that same gallery for months, being finally bought by a rich British banker. The banker committed suicide after the Panic of 1847 bankrupted him. Sold at auction, it then passed to an aristocratic Italian family whose members over the next 3 decades would die through murder, suicide, and tragic accidents. Following the final decay and financial ruin of that family, the painting was lost for a time, believed to be stored in some location in their large but now ruined villa outside Rome. It eventually showed up in the United States in the 1930s in the possession of rising politician and bootlegger Conan Byrne. Byrne rose in politics, but tragedy haunted his family. One child, a daughter, went insane. His eldest son died in World War II. Yet another son was assassinated when running for governor. Eventually, Byrne gifted the painting to a notable political rival, Baruch Barry Goldstein. Goldstein died of a heart attack 2 weeks later. His body sprawled on the floor in front of the painting. The painting was returned to Byrne with a note, the contents of which have never been disclosed, from Goldstein's widow. Byrne's fortunes faded, and it was the Kennedys who became the most prominent Irish American family in politics. Byrne refused to be in the same building with the painting, and it was sent to an isolated Maine summer house that was unused at the time and remained unused for the next decade. After this quiet decade, there was a break in at the summer house. Police would later find the thief, a notorious burglar, dead, with the rolled up painting among the stolen art treasures surrounding his corpse. He had evidently leaned against a second floor banister which gave way, and the burglar had broken his neck on hitting the floor below. Byrne became obsessed with the painting that he was convinced had ruined his family, and he engaged several researchers over the years to research its origins. Among those he contacted were the Sikory Scholars, and not long afterward, Marion Sikory contacted Byrne with an offer to purchase the painting. Byrne gave it to her for free. The painting is now in the visual arts wing of the Sikory Private Library on the first floor in the French Realist section. The painting hangs alone in a tiny cubicle apart from other paintings, and a velvet rope keeps visitors at a distance. It was last seen by members of the public at a fundraiser in 1998. So let's talk about the library job. You've all been gathered by Percival Tiddlewick, a well known, if not always well regarded, art critic. He has gathered you because he has a job for you all to do. Now, how have you come to know him? Well, you're all wealthy. You all moved or move in high social circles. And the truth is that Percy kind of has a little something on each of you. Tony, he
Yes.
helped you in an art fraud. And he has strongly hinted that if you don't help him with this task that he has, and he'll tell you what it is when you all meet with him, he retained evidence that you didn't know about that would directly tie you to a multi-million-dollar fraud. It could put you away for decades. You might not be able to buy your way out of it.
Bastards.
Not Tony.
Ace. So, at various times in your life, you've had to do
He has
jobs.
pictures of me wearing a seatbelt, and he will release them to the public.
Ace, he knows or thinks he knows that you were the getaway driver when you were young in a bank heist that went wrong. You were represented to be the potential victim who escaped, but he claims to have evidence that proves that you were actually part of it at the beginning and it just all went wrong. So you think maybe it might be a good idea to show up. Amanda, you're interested in Percival because he has become aware of your cocaine habit. As a professor at Collier City University, you're well regarded, you have access to a lot of resources, but if they ever became aware of your coke habit, you would be gone.
They would completely excuse your plagiarism.
John John has a different problem. He was contacted by Percival, who claims that he has a file full of the names and solid evidence for the people who framed you. Something you've always wanted. But there's a price. If you want the file, you've got to take care of a job for him. So now you are all gathered in the quaint, colorful, pastel colors everywhere, sort of beach themed townhome of Percival Tiddlewick. Percival himself is slightly obese. He has a neatly trimmed beard, green fringed hair, and a very round face. He also has a nose piercing like he's a prize bull.
Hmm.
Um,
So his parents made the money.
he's he looks this way. He looks like he just got there. Just came from his hairdresser. He's at various times done like small television spots and all that. So he's someone who has a certain amount of fame. He's sitting there on the deck of his townhome when you guys come in. He actually has a kind of a butler, or perhaps it would be better to say houseboy, a slender, very effeminate Hispanic man, maybe Cuban, maybe Mexican, you're not sure, who escorts you all upstairs. And this is the first time that most of you have seen each other, although, of course, Tony and Ace uh, do have a connection,
Mhm.
kind of casual connection.
Yeah.
Um, And Percival sees the four of you, and he says, "Well, it's about time you showed up.
Oh,
Johnny Rotten called. He wants everything back.
Please have a seat. This is very important.
Oh,
Very.
Percival, this seems very serious and tedious. What is this all about?
It's
I
about the
say, I
painting.
say,
It's
let's sit
about the
down.
painting." Huh. I
Wait, you called me about a painting? What? I look at
oh,
the others
I
like,
don't
do
want
they
you to
look
give
like
up.
painting people?
No.
You all look like rich people, frankly.
Oh.
Well, except for you, Ace. You may look like you just came from the garage, but the
No,
other guys all
I'm wearing nice clothing, but I do make a
yeah.
point of wearing my racing team jacket a lot to show
Yeah.
that I'm not in
Okay.
the herd.
so Percy, do you want me to sell a painting? Is that it?
No, no, no. Don't misunderstand. So this is about the Moors Aman Est. Do you guys know about this painting?
Oh, uh,
The Bond family curse?
is that a knowledge roll? Maybe.
It is. Anyone can
Oh,
make it. All of you can make it. Whoever makes it, just tell me
Um,
what your role is.
Ace
uh,
will make
uh,
a knowledge roll.
Yeah.
no, I don't know that. I don't know the painting.
18, good enough.
My roll is 16.
Well, it's
I
Okay.
untrained
also
for
I
Ace.
also rolled an 18 because I think it makes sense for Amanda to know about it.
I
So
rolled a
Amanda,
four,
you
so no.
yeah, Tony, you have no idea. You
Yeah,
can't imagine why your time is being wasted with this.
yeah, sure.
John and Ace, you have heard of a Byrne family curse. Um, Conan Byrne was this big wheel in Irish American politics and in the mid 20th century. A lot of bad things happened to him and his family. And you do remember it seemed to have something to do with a painting. Amanda, you know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about more as a man est. He's talking about a painting in the Sikory Private Library's um, collection. You are aware of the Byrne family curse. You've seen the police reports about the burglar who died. Um, you can't imagine, though, why Percival would be at all interested in this. So Percy kind of looks at you guys, one at a time, and then throws his hands up in the air in a very kind of limp wristed gesture of frustration. The more the man F, the famous painting behind the Byrne family curse. That's what I'm talking about. It's a rare painting. It's an important painting. I
Val-
have a theory about it.
it's a valuable painting at least.
No,
Oh God, what am I doing here?
Well, I
those
don't know much about
bastards.
painting,
They
but why the hell are we here, actually?
I am getting to that, you silly. Okay, so I need to examine the painting. I have my new book coming out, and the book will be about French realists. French realists. A very important book. But here's the thing: I don't think it's a realist painting. I think they've gotten the whole story wrong. I need to examine it though, and they won't let me. The bastard.
Who's
You know
they?
how
of
the
course they will.
scholars, the scholars, they control everything there. You know what I'm talking about, Amanda.
Yes, and what the hell do you expect us to do? To go walk in there and take the painting? You're
Yes.
insane.
Oh, I got a plan. I got a plan. Silly. Do you think I would do this without a plan? I'm not stupid.
Well, you're not the
Um,
one doing it, apparently.
of course not. How be silly. Now, I'll be there, but I need help. What?
You
I'm
can't
supposed to
steal
walk
it
in and get it by
steal
myself?
things from them.
What?
You cannot steal from the secret scholars. That's
Oh, yes, I
dangerous.
can. Oh, yes, I can. I have an ace in the hole.
I'm
Have
in
it.
the middle of yawning and just sort of staring like, wait, do you mean me?
In his
No,
sleep?
no, no. No, stop that. I have an insider, a security guard.
Okay, that's a good
Hmm.
start, but I guess let's just call it out. Is this a heist plan?
Yes.
I
Sorry,
will sit up straighter and go, okay then.
sorry, but you called me to do something illegal? Me?
Yes, Tony. Don't be stupid. You know I know.
I'm offended.
Yeah.
I'm offended.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Each of you has something you don't want people to know. Or, John, I have something you want to know. Right? But that's
Or
Yeah.
also
in
much.
my case, you made up something you think you know and are going to release
I
it.
can prove it, Ace. I can prove it enough. Here's the thing.
Enough.
I got money. This is worth a lot of money.
You could have
And
just
some
had
of
me for this is stupid and possibly dangerous.
well, of course. But we can still do it. We'll just have to be very fast. So here's the thing. I will divide between you $100,000. And I am prepared to give each of you 5,000 up front.
Ooh, that can buy me breakfast.
Can I get
Thank
that in
you.
traveler's checks? And then I laugh at my own joke.
Oh, come on. This is earnest money. This is proving it's real. Buy ya.
This is what
I get to examine the
Rockford
painting,
referred to as
and then
reasonable
we get to
expense.
sell it and make money. Come on.
Just one
Okay.
more.
Money is
So
money.
How can
Okay.
I be sure that what you have is real? Is not just fiction?
Don, I will sell you two of the names from the list, and I think you will recognize them. And there are more names, John.
Okay,
So let me get the file.
you
And
can
he
wait.
goes and he goes and you see a big thick file and he peeks into it and writes a little something down, locks his
Where does he get the
safe
file
back.
from?
It's a four safe. And he puts it back in and he comes back and he shows you, and just for you, John, he shows you two names. So go ahead and make a wits roll to control your reaction.
I rolled a 19.
Ooh.
Okay. You make no reaction, but you do recognize the names. One of them is the name of a cousin. The other is the name of a life person who you thought was your lifelong friend. And you always wondered about them, whether they were involved because of things they did after you went to prison.
Hmm.
But you never really had any proof. And you see Percival sitting there in his chair smiling at you. You see, Don, and I have evidence. I have evidence you've never had. I can give it to you, John, but you've got to give me what I want.
Okay, I'm in.
I mean, I just think it's very rude of you to blackmail me and offer money at the same time.
Wealth, better
It's,
to give a bribe and a threat than just a threat. Don't you think, Professor? I will give you money, and I won't tell people your secret that will get you fired. Well,
sorry,
come on.
I'm trying not
It's come on.
to.
It's lovely easy.
Well, Percy, you said the magic word, so I'm in.
I
Money,
mean,
yes.
How much is the painting? How much is the painting worth?
To this particular client, $1 million. But here's the thing. I get to hold on to it and examine it.
Just to prove that it's not a French realist painting.
Well, you
All
think
that trouble.
you think that's not important? That my book is not important?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't read your book, but yeah, couldn't you determine that from pictures
No,
or?
John. Oh, goodness. No, Ace. Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, my first name is John.
No,
So,
Ace. Goodness gracious, Ace. That's not how it works. If you want to do art authentication, they don't release high enough resolution images of the painting. Yeah, I need
okay,
to
yeah. So
examine
like brush
it.
strokes and things like that.
Yes, I need to examine it.
So, so what do you think it is?
I will leave that for my book, Ace. I will leave that for my
Oh,
book. That will make my book sell, Ace. It will. But you don't have to worry about that.
well, I mean, people buy books where they look for a dude in a striped hat. So
You mean Elton John? The thing is,
no,
I
Waldo.
oh, I've always liked Elton. I think he's very handsome. Anyway, um, here's the thing, Ace. You cannot afford to have me present evidence that you committed a crime, but you can afford to make money and to take a risk. Can you not? This, this
Oh,
will.
sure. No, I'm in. I'm in. I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Well, whatever. You'll find out more when the time is right. So, everyone, I have a van for the job. And he then takes out a metal pad, and you see him scribbling on 4 different pages, and he hands them to you. And he says, "That is my phone. Call me this evening, and I will come and pick you up at the location on that piece of paper. And then we will do the job. I've already arranged everything with
Okay.
my man on the theme, or perhaps a woman, you will see. In any event,
Hmm.
I will see you all this evening. Tick a clock on the nose. Now you can go somewhere."
Oh,
We're supposed to call his butter phone at 6:00.
Antonio, escort them out the door. I got things to do. And he,
yeah, sure.
I will wait till we get outside, and I will turn to Tony and go, "What is a butter phone?"
I'll explain it to you later.
and so, yeah, I mean, you guys, those who did not already know, have kind of figured out Percival's a certain.
Don't drop what I'm starting to pick up about this guy because I don't know if I can take it.
So, in any event,
You're not supposed to say.
Antonio, fetch the women.
hey, it is Pride Month, guys. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you guys do get your call from the burner phone. You recognize the number that he wrote down on the piece of paper. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm putting it in my phone as butter phone.
he tells you where to meet him. It's a street corner by the one of the Collier City Park facilities. And when you guys arrive, there he is. He's sitting in the van. He's got sunglasses on. The sunglasses are kind of this pink color. The pink frames are pink. The glass lens itself is green. Uh, he has a hat on, pulled down over his face. The hat is got a big feather in it, and he's wearing a oversized Hawaiian shirt, which is quite remarkable because he's kind of oversized himself. So it's a big shirt.
Hmm.
You figure that your typical yacht could possibly fly it as a pennant. You're not sure. So
Do they make small Hawaiian shirts? I didn't know that was a thing.
so you see him, and he sees you, and he kind of waves the four of you over. He's making very impatient gestures.
I am now in my tactical turtleneck.
There you go.
So like everything is black. I'm going to walk up to the van and tap the hood and go like pop the hood. I want to see what this thing's got.
You see.
I'm expecting a tragedy.
So you see.
It's a minivan. It's a minivan.
Percival looks very confused, and it's kind of like a Ford commercial van, and he looks very confused, and he kind of looks around, and you see him raise his hands like, "Huh?" And
I'll motion for him to open the door.
Yeah, he opens the door.
I'll
He
do
says,
the honors.
What? I don't know how to open the.
I'll pull the hood.
Yeah, so you pull the
release.
hood release, and he looks down and goes, "Oh, that's what that is."
I'll point to the emergency brake and say, "Don't kick this."
Got it.
Oh, Percy, I see that you put your best subdue costume on for this kind of mission.
Yes, it's a disguise. I never wear feathers in my hats. Well, not when I'm walking on the street or anything. And I never wear these
Sure.
gauche topical shirts. I just never do. And look at these pants. They're terrible. They don't match. Nobody would think it's me.
Of course not. Of course not.
Sorry, guys. I can't help having fun with this.
This guy is like diabolique, not times two. Like,
So you look under the hood. It is a thoroughly conventional commercial van. It does not even have a V8. It has a very efficient sideways mounted V6. It doesn't look bad. This is clearly a newer model of the van, right?
Yeah.
But it's nothing that would impress you as a driver.
I'm just going to check to make sure nothing obvious is wrong that'll make the thing stall out when we need it. But I will be sad that there's not a lot of giddy up.
Oh, no. This is as plain as white bread, and even the color is plain. It's that standard commercial van, kind of white. I mean, it's a nothing. It's a nothing.
Well, that's invisibility. Yeah, that's an invisibility shield.
Well, that's fair.
I'll close the hood and say, look, you're not expecting to do a quick getaway in this thing, right?
Good heavens, no.
Oh, thank goodness. I'll breathe a sigh of relief. Okay.
So, Ace, how boring is it? Our rides.
I mean, it's commercial. Man.
Yeah, it's got the 4-speed transmission.
Unless you're kidnapping people or starting a plumbing business, it's not going to move the needle much.
So it is a absolutely plain vanilla commercial van from one of the major American manufacturers. It is square. It is boring. It's.
Am I driving this thing, Percival, or are you going to stay behind the wheel?
Whoa, yeah, you can drive. I'll just tell you. I'll sit in the side seat and tell you where to go. Yeah, sure. And he goes and he gets in the side seat, and he as he gets out, he's looking around, looking over his sunglasses, like he expects someone to see him, and then he does this exaggerated casual walk around the front of the van. I am being very casual, so nobody will notice me with my pip feather in my hat.
Oh, we may be boned.
And then he gets in the passenger seat. He kind of has to grunt a little to get up into it because you know how it is with commercial vans. They kind of ride on a truck frame, and he's kind of pulling himself into the passenger seat. And then he shuts the door, and there he is. So, John, Amanda, what are you guys doing?
I'm just looking for.
This commercial van has the usual side door, back doors, etc. So it's very easy to get into.
Yeah, let's just get over it. I'll just go inside the van because this is better.
Mr. Percival, what is exactly going to be your role in this?
Well, I will tell you when we get there. It's very important to these sorts of operations that we don't reveal too much before the time for operational security. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I'm going to kill myself. Please.
We're all going to die.
So I'm assuming so. Ace is driving. Percival is in the passenger seat beside him. These are, even though it's a commercial van, in modern ones, they tend to have two bench seats in the front. So, and then there's a bench. There is an actual bench seat behind. So I assume Tony and Amanda and John are seated there in that second row. And then there's a big empty
Yeah.
area in the back. And you notice that there is a kind of and it's strapped down properly. There's a weird looking kind of cart that is very long and narrow and has a couple of big rails on it. And you also see a couple of very odd looking velvet wraps or drapes or quilts. You're not really sure what they are, but they're folded up there beside whatever this thing is. It does have wheels on it, but it's strapped down so it can't move.
This is for what, Percival?
That's for Kelly the painting, you silly. Painting. We have to take care of it.
It's an awful lot of folder roll
Yeah.
for a not even realist painting.
When are we going to know your plan? I'm curious about it.
We'll be there soon. So, eighth, we need to go to the Sikory Private Library. So, and he gives you the directions, and you may not need them. You may already know them. But you can tell so go ahead and make your driving roll to see how much you understand about the directions he's giving you.
Okay.
I say driving, it's the pilot skill.
Yeah, I was
but,
about to say this is not anything to do with stunt driving, so this is not.
No,
Let's see.
no, not yet.
Mhm.
18 modified, yeah. Not
Okay,
a great
yeah, that's
roll,
fine.
but
Yeah, but it's enough. I mean, you can tell he is giving you the proper directions to get to the Sikory Private Library from where you are, but he's clearly not going up the main drive, which is where most people would go. He's taking a service road route. And you can vaguely remember there are a number of service roads that lead to different locations on the admittedly very large campus of this Sikory Private Library, including some roads that lead to doors that appear to go underground, but that's as much as you know about it.
we're not
So
doing
this
this
is-
tonight, right, Percy?
Yes, of course we are.
Oh,
The time is now.
okay.
So let's go.
Yep, I will put it in gear and start driving casual so that Imperials don't notice us.
Okay. So you guys make your way, and as you are driving, you see Percival reach towards his pants. He has to kind of adjust himself to get inside the pocket, and he takes his phone out, and he kind of puts his hand very ineffectually over the other side of his mouth while he's talking to the phone. He's, yes, what do you want? You know we aren't supposed to call. Yes, we're coming. Yes, I have your money.
Good
Yes.
grief. How many people have the butter phone? This is unbelievable.
No, everything will be all right. Oh, you will? Oh, good. Yes, we're on our way. And he very ostentatiously hits the off button and sticks it back in his pocket. And then he looks around at all of you and says, well, my security guard is waiting for us. Soon we will have the painting. Yes. Oh, it's so exciting.
Yes, I'm bursting with joy.
I know that he said there's not going to be any getaway here, but as I'm driving there, I'm getting a very good read of the pickup of this vehicle, its turn radius. Like I'm getting ready to be the best getaway driver possible if it comes to that.
Make your technical roll,
All right.
and this will apply your grease monkey.
Oh, okay. And that's intelligence based.
But that is intelligence based.
25, and that is a crit.
Jesus.
Your opinion of this vehicle is that it is absolutely hopeless in the event you guys get in trouble. It has no
steers
pickup.
like a cow. Yeah.
0 to 60 in maybe 20 seconds. Has a lot of momentum as a race car driver. You know this is bad. It will wallow all over the place like a boat in a heavy storm in the event you have to do high speed maneuvering. In fact,
Yeah, but
you're at risk of rollover if you don't do it right.
yeah, well, but momentum can be good for like knocking down security
Well,
arms and
yeah,
things
the
like
only
that too.
problem
So
is you also know that it basically has crap
yeah,
brakes.
yeah, its
So
crumple
once you
zones. Its crumple zone is the engine.
I was about to say, once you are up to speed, you don't expect to be able to get down again anytime soon. And you
Right.
figure it will top out somewhere around 100 miles an hour, which is a lot slower than you would want it to be, since you know that, like, they have they they have the Collier City Police Department has your standard Dodge Charger police cars, and those things will easily do 140 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So you got all kinds of unhappy thoughts going through your head about this car.
Many of which could be fixed by ditching it as soon as possible.
Well, he won't reveal his full plan to you. He's maintaining operational security.
Well, that's good.
So you guys have a very pleasant drive. This is South Florida.
Yeah.
It's in May. It's warm and somewhat humid, but you guys are relatively close to the coast, so you've got a constant Gulf breeze blowing in. You can literally smell the salt. And the locals get used to it. You guys probably have gotten used to it, but people who come there on vacation would smell it almost immediately. That smell of the ocean only like 10 miles away.
What time of day
Uh,
are we doing this at?
It is getting towards
6,
evening. It is
6.
late. You
Okay.
guys picked him up at
Okay.
6, and then you're driving there. You know it's a very short drive to the Sikory Private Library, Ace. You'll be there in 10 minutes.
On the way, I'll try to read Percy to see if he's anxious, nervous.
Go ahead.
Try to see.
Make your roll.
This is what investigation?
I think this would be a fair investigation roll.
Okay. Let me see something. Okay. It's wits or intelligence?
In this case, it would be wits.
Wits. Okay.
This ties into your perception.
So 18 total.
Okay. He is trying to put up a front, but he is nervous as a cat. And you can't quite understand why. Because the way you read him, when he talks about the plan, he's very confident. It's something else. What else is, he hasn't said. But for all his talk, for all the feather, for all the weird kind of outfit he came up with to quote unquote hide his identity, he's actually quite nervous about something. You notice little signs. You see little beads of sweat around the temples.
So
You notice that,
for him the plan is perfect, but there's something else. Okay.
yeah. But the plan, whenever he talks to you about the plan, he's happy. There's no nervousness there. He's confident about the plan.
Okay.
I know what it is. He's scared it is a realism painting. If it's French realism, he's back to the drawing board. Just him and the butter book.
So you arrive at the Sikory Private Library. It is.
Oh, finally.
It
Yeah, what does
is,
this bad boy look like?
Oh, it is huge. There are multiple buildings on the campus. The building itself is 4 stories above ground. It is probably the above ground building is at least a half mile wide. It is a giant. It looks like it. Have you seen? You see the big palaces that they have, like in France, that date from the 16th century. It's a modern version of that. It's a gigantic building, and it's not the only one. That's just the main building. There's also these. There's Amanda, and you see the scholars' residence there aside the reflecting pool. So there's a reflecting pool between the main building and the scholars' residence, and then there's an extension further back that none of you can see right now because you're not in the right location to do so. Amanda, you've heard rumors that the library has multiple sublevels, that it is as big underground as it is above ground. And even though you have some connections to them, and even though you work at Collier City University, you've never actually been beyond the exhibits on the main floor.
And I think so. I'm thinking that this is not going to go well, but I guess it's going to be fun. So I'm just enjoying the rides.
Yeah, it's definitely an exercise in the criminal mind. Yeah, yeah, and of course, it simply confirms what you always knew, which is that criminals are stupid. Um, in any event, you guys get to a security gate that has a key card.
Okay. Do I see any cameras?
There are cameras.
So as I see them, I'll try to look away.
Okay, so you see Percival's pulled his hat down a little bit over his forehead, which is difficult because he has a really big fat head, and he again laboriously pulls his phone out of his pocket, and you notice it has this really colorful seashell, phone protector shell on the phone itself, just in case he drops it. And it's got multiple
Mhm.
colors. It's like pink and mauve and purple and red and all these little things. Very pastel, very colorful. And
Hmm.
he touches a couple of buttons and puts the phone up to his ear and says, all right, well here, well here. Oh, okay. Yes, I know, I know. Let us in already. We'll go to the garage. And you guys see the door open.
Oh, wow. So we don't even have to
And
stop at the security station. Good.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
unattended. You see lots of cameras. The gate itself is impressive. And as it opens, you see four impact barriers behind it that lower into the ground. The impact barriers are roughly the size of 55-gallon drums.
Whoa. So they don't
They are
want a tank
enormous.
coming in here.
You have no idea what they're for, but they are big. You've never seen impact barriers like that. Well, not at a civilian building, anyway.
Right, yeah.
Aren't those a little bit too excessive for a library?
Yeah, not for this
Uh,
library.
Percival looks at you like uh, he just kind of raises his hand and shakes his head, and it's like,
What kind of
I-
library is this, ma'am?
Well, how can I put it? It's a special one. It doesn't hold just books. Of course,
Well, yeah,
it also
and
holds
also
Well,
holds a
paintings
painting.
at least. Yes.
Whether
Well,
they're a
this
French realist or not, I suppose.
and some artifacts that are supposed to be cursed.
yeah. So Amanda, what you know about
It's
the
here.
library is that it's supposed to be a repository of many ancient and esoteric items. You're not familiar, of course, with the kind of darker aspects of it, but you do know that there's a lot of money behind it, a huge amount of money, shocking amounts of money. You also know that some of their items are really quite enormous. You've heard rumors that they have like whole trains, down below in the sub levels, just enormous numbers of items acquired from all over the world.
Professor, is this painting also cursed?
It's cursed by not being French realist, I say under my breath.
Oh, don't be silly. Cursed. Bear. What silliness? That's all just hoodoo. Goodness gracious. Tony, you are a modern person. Goodness.
How was? How do I read his reaction when when I said cursed painting?
Roll again.
Oh, this time it is a 17.
You're getting a mixed read. He he clearly wants you to believe that it's nonsense, but again, you get that weird, disquieting feeling that there's something behind what he's saying that's not quite
Hmm.
right. So
Okay.
anyway, once the barriers are down, and it does take them a time to go down, you get the impression there must be a lot of weight and a lot of hydraulics involved there. Ace kind of looks over you and says, "Go directly down to the first right, turn right, and there will be an open garage door, and we will go in there and we will wait.
Okay, I will try to do that. Ready for something to go wrong at all points.
So you see some very interesting things once you drive in. You see drones in the air. You see um, one man who is carrying an M4 with an ACOG sight on it. And he has two very large, very fierce looking dogs on a leash, and they're straining at the leash. But they pay you no mind. They're like 100 feet away from you. You know, it's like the guy with the gun kind of looks over at you. He touches his ear, and then
Mm-hmm.
he takes his hand away from his ear and looks away, like he's heard something that made you uninteresting to him. You do see the road on the right that Percival's talking about, and Percival says, that one right there.
This is a lot of security.
Don't worry about it. I got my
Yes.
inside guy.
Yeah, but do you have an exit strategy? Because we haven't done anything yet.
Of course. Everything in its time, Ace. I got this nailed. I got this nailed, Ace.
Okay.
He kind of points and gestures in the direction he wants you to drive.
I'm getting the well. I'll try to be as quiet and not to draw much attention. I'll take my burner phone out and send a message to one of my contacts
Okay.
to see if he can, in case of emergency, if he can escort me out of a probably problematic situation.
Okay.
And failing
So
that, delete your browser history.
Yeah.
So, let's see this. Go ahead, and I'm assuming you're trying to convince him that he should. Go ahead and do an
Yeah.
influence roll, and let's go ahead and let you use your deception specialization.
Oh.
Okay.
Because let's face it, you're not exactly a principled person, so you're probably going to feed him a line trying to get help.
Oh, nice. Natural 20. So
So he says, yeah. So the message you get back is, yeah. Where and when?
okay, so I'll just send him the address, but the when I'll inform him later.
And then you get a message back, and the message says, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
My message back is no.
So the message you receive in response
Well, at least
to
put
that
a
is,
frowny emoji with that. I mean, come on.
so the message you get back shows a picture such as you might see on a website of the Sikory Private Library, and the message says, "You'll have to get outside first. I ain't promising you nothing inside the gate."
Yes, I know. And then stop.
All right, let me do a roll real quick for Percival, just to see if he notices.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying to be cautious, so if you want to, you can roll your. Is it stealth? I believe, or no? There's an untrained skill, sneak, because I don't think you have.
Sneak,
I don't
yeah.
think you have stealth.
No. I don't. Sneak it's with what? With agility, right?
I'll give you an option. You can use sneak, or you can try to use your performance.
Oh, so I'll use my performance.
Your
That's
performance
better.
would be better because it would be based on your charisma, because you're trying to conceal what you're doing more than keep
Yeah.
him from seeing it altogether. So it's your choice.
Okay, no, my performance. 15.
Oh yeah, it's he glances over, but your performance is such that he doesn't really notice anything. He's kind of distracted, in fact. So he looks away, and you get your messages off. And so now this is network of contacts, not allies. So this is, you already know this person will take no risks on your behalf. They're,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
they're
know, I
willing
know,
to
I know.
help you as long as there's no danger to them.
Yes,
And
yes,
given the kind
yes.
of
I know.
contacts you have, that's not surprising. Okay, so guys, you can see out the front window of this little van. You're approaching some kind of small garage facility. The door's already up. As you start to approach it, you drive in, and you see there's lots of vans that don't look too dissimilar to yours. In fact, they look very similar to yours, just very
Oh,
plain vans.
Chinese fire drill. Got
Yeah.
it.
And then, basically, Percival looks over at you at Ace and says, "Now, just find a place a little bit out of the way, and we'll wait."
Okay. I will. Yeah, I'll look for a suitable parking space.
Okay, so you
Hmm.
do find one. It's not difficult at all, so I won't make you roll.
Uh, I'm
It's
going to
and
parallel park, even if that's
yeah,
not necessary.
that's fine. And here you are, one white late model commercial van among many sitting in this garage. And the door shuts and the lights automatically go back to dim. Um, and everybody make a, let's see, it can be either search or investigation. If you have investigation, you can use it instead. And it would be wits based. And tell me what your total is.
Four-
Investigation
14.
with
13.
14 for Amanda.
investigation with
13 for
Okay.
me.
12 for me.
Okay. Tony?
16 for me.
Okay. Only Tony, only you see this. You notice that as the lights go dark, um, Percival is checking something that's kind of inside of his pants. You're not too sure at first you want to know, but then you notice that it has a familiar outline. It looks like a handgun, maybe in some kind of inside the waistband holster. And then he pushes it back
Hmm.
away after taking a quick look at it, like he's just confirming that it's there.
Okay, so I'll keep an eye on him,
Yeah.
on that gun.
Yeah, the reason why
Yeah,
you didn't see it before is he was number one, it was on the wrong side for you to notice it, given how he's seated. And number
yeah.
two, it's an inside the waistband concealment holster. It's not really meant to be
Mm-hmm.
seen. So,
Okay.
but you're familiar with the type because you're in Florida and the United States, and people know about concealed carry. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
Unlike being in Europe where you're all serfs. But anyway, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
we don't need guns. We just use our
No,
own
that's no.
souls.
You have swords. You like a
There
vest.
you
A
go.
Yeah.
vest, Giardi.
Not in the UK.
I shall smite thee. There you go.
Yeah.
Pull out your mace. Anyway, so you guys sit there, and Percival is kind of looking around. He's making little nervous motions, and then he pulls up his phone and looks at it very closely, and then he kind of looks around, and then after a few
So
minutes, go ahead.
Percy, and we are waiting, man.
Yes, yes, I know. We have to wait until it's fully dark, and then
Well,
once it's fully,
while we're killing time, why don't you explain more of the plan to us here?
Yeah, I think it's time.
oh, very well. So this is going to be very simple. We look just like one of their delivery vans. So they don't pay that much attention to us. So what happens at night is they have some of their vans making deliveries around the facility and running errands in town because they have multiple shifts. So after dark, we will pull up to the side wing, the realist wing, and then our My inside man. My inside man I've been talking about. He will open the side door. You four will go in, get the painting, using the dolly behind us. And we'll be waiting. And we'll confirm it is the painting. You will need to make sure you wrap the painting very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. So
in the
please
velvet
use,
there.
yeah, yes, very, very important. Very important. So you will wrap it, put it in the cart, bring it out, we'll put it in the van, and then we will leave just like we are a delivery van running an errand. Very simple. And a security guard on the inside is already arranged so nobody will notice anything by the time they know it's gone. It will already be
Question:
okay and it will be
Do
sold.
question: Do we have to bring the frame also?
Oh, yes. Yes. You have to bring everything. That's why you had the dolly.
And it's in the realist wing.
It has its own
How
room.
big? How big?
The
How big is the
security
painting?
guard will guide you to it.
But to the realist wing.
Well, it's a room in the real wing, silly. Yes. It's a very valuable
Where
painting.
maybe the room is the French realist room, perhaps.
I don't understand. Why are you asking this question?
No, just
Percy, how big is the painting?
Oh, it's not that big. It's about 2 by 3
Centimeters?
feet. Feet. So that would be about like 2/3 of a meter by a meter.
Yeah, yeah, not that big.
Your plan sounds too easy and stupid.
also
Yes.
it was measured in inches, so that's another mark against French. So I keep going back and forth. I'm not sure if this thing's a French realist painting or not.
While we are waiting, I'll use my con artist toolkit and try to disguise as
Yeah,
possible as
give
I
me a
can.
fake mustache if you will.
Perhaps just smear some paint on my face, or
Yeah, okay. Well, it's
That
kind
would
of
be
difficult
great.
because it's dark in the van, and but yes, I mean you can try and go ahead and make a
yeah,
roll.
I will.
Let's tell me what the roll.
Performance.
Yeah, go ahead and make a performance roll and give me your total. So
Ah,
Percival turns to
yeah.
Professor Collins while he's making his roll and says, "Well, Little Miss Perfect, I have you know this is a very very good plan. I worked it out.
14. 14.
Yeah, you're not sure. Um,
Not my best.
it's probably not your best work, but
Yeah,
it's you figure nobody will immediately recognize you anyway.
yeah. Okay.
Telling me my
So
plan
you're
is
inside
dumb.
man.
My plan is not dumb. My plan is very smart. It's simple. You keep it simple.
Your man. Is he coming or not?
We will go to the side door. Be patient. And I presume that that's kind of how this goes for the next
Yeah.
couple hours. It's like you guys,
Hours?
yes,
So
because you guys, this is Florida in May, so you've got to give time for that sun to go down.
Professor
Um,
Collins, take me through the attributes that typify the art under the category French realism.
Go ahead and make your knowledge roll if you want to. I mean, it's outside your specialty, but what the heck?
What? Like she's not a painting specialist? What the hell? Like, I'm gonna get, I'm gonna blackmail 4 people into a job that I planned.
And none of them are
Man, this guy is
specialists.
so far from Danny Ocean. He's basically Danny Desert.
Well, remember, he doesn't really want you to be specialists with the art. He's gotten you for other reasons.
Oh,
So anyway, so
Uh, as my as Tony is well, he specializes in high dollar illegal antiques. Did I hear along the way something about his painting or
go ahead and make a roll.
investigation or
Let's call an
oh,
urban savvy.
urban
Yeah.
savvy?
I swear
Okay.
to God, if you learn that it's French realist, I'm going to lose my mind.
17.
Right. So what you've heard is that this is a high dollar painting that's been treated very specially by the Sikory Private Library. They don't allow many people to see it. They keep it in its own room. I mean, you've heard all this on the
Hmm.
street because you know people who steal this stuff for a living, and not a
Hmm.
one of them has ever mentioned even it possibly trying to steal this painting. It's like,
Okay.
it's like, in fact, you know that on the street, it's usually considered extremely bad to try to steal from the Sickery Private Library. There are
Okay.
guys pulling 25 years inside for having tried, and those are the ones who survived. Weird things happen to people who mess around with the Sickery Private Library. It's got in your circles, it's
Okay.
got kind of a creepy reputation.
Well, at least if I get alive and not be in prison, it will be a nice upgrade to my street rap.
Okay, if you dare tell anyone. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the security ignoring us all the time you are here?
you're just sitting in what looks like an empty garage. Now there are cameras all around,
Hmm.
but there's
Good.
nobody else in the garage so far as you can tell.
Hmm. Okay. I want
And
to
then
be
go ahead.
very wary of the surroundings all
Okay.
the time.
So you kind of keep a weather eye out, and sure enough, after a couple hours, you see guys in uniforms start walking into the garage from a door in a far corner. They're not paying you any mind. They're just going directly to some vans. You hear them engaging in the usual small talk. Hey, how about we go to XX bar after, work? And oh yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a few brews and blah 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 blah. It's just the usual kind of patter.
Okay.
And they get in their vans, and you hear them start. Percival looks over at you, Ace, and says, "Okay, start the van, start the van."
I will start the van.
And it starts right up. The one thing you've noted is it is mechanically reliable, which you would expect it to be because it's not very
Yeah.
old. Um, and the other vans move towards the entrance, and the door opens.
Are we
And then
following suit?
Percival looks over at you and says, "Go at the end of them, and then turn right at the end of the road, and I'll show you how to get to the side door."
Okay.
And so you, I presume, fall into line
Yeah.
behind a couple
Yeah.
of the vans.
Yeah. I'm going to.
And
I'm going to kind
go
of
ahead.
feather the brake a little bit, as though the the van doesn't have quite the pickup, so that when we kind of drift off a bit and make the turn, it won't be as surprising to everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make your driving roll.
Uh,
I mean, basically, unless you get a one, would you roll?
yeah. I rolled a two, but
One.
Okay,
that
that's not a one.
does that does come to a pretty good amount. So yeah.
So yeah, you kind of feather it. You find it's actually not easy to control the vehicle, but
Yeah.
you do fall a little bit behind them, and you don't think anybody noticed. It's like once you stab the brake a little bit too hard because it's just not very responsive. But and then you turn right on the road, and Percival starts pointing the way, and it's not complicated. It's a fairly straightforward route. It does take you closer and closer to this very large building. And then eventually you pull up into a small parking area. It's currently empty. And this building looms above you. It's a gigantic building. And Percival motions you to pull into one of the parking spots. Again, there are cameras on booms, there are cameras on the building, there's cameras all around the place. But there's nobody there. Not a soul.
Yeah, this is starting to weird me out because it doesn't seem like he needs us yet, and this is starting to make me wonder
Mhm.
what the hell's going on.
Mhm.
I'll throw it in park and keep the engine on and look at him like, are we waiting here or are we going in?
We have to wait on my inside man. He'll come out of that door. And he points at a door. And there are like 4 doors on the side of the building of different sizes. There's one of them that's very clearly a freight door of some kind. There's 2 other doors as well. And there's like a large concrete patio that is around that area, around the doors, to provide a level place. There's also a smooth ramp down. It's only about 3 or 4 feet in the air, and there's also steps, so it's very accessible. Several doors. After a moment, you see one of the small doors, the one furthest to the back of the building, open, and a man steps out. He is dark haired. He's wearing what looks like a security guard or a policeman's uniform. I mean, kind of the same thing. And he looks around in all directions. And then you see him make a big waving gesture with his arm, a come on gesture, waving back towards himself. And then Percival says, "Okay, now let's get the thing out of the back and go and get the painting. Let's go, let's go, let's go."
All of us, or am I staying with the van?
No, no, no. I need everybody. I need everybody. Come on, let's
I
go, let's go.
I will kill the ignition and put the key in my pocket,
Okay. And
and then
so Percival leads you guys around the back. He opens the door. Again, it's doing what a commercial van does. The doors open really wide, and fold back against the van. Um, Percival pushes a little button, and the back of the van actually lowers a little bit. And he reaches in and kind of fumbles and said, "What's the stupid ramp? What's a ramp?" And he's kind of reaching under the back end.
I'll see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, you do. I'm not going to make you roll for it. It's like you immediately see the little latch, and you pull the latch, and the ramp comes right out, easy peasy. And Percival stands back and kind of claps his hand. Oh, that's what that's for. And so then you guys unstrap the it's actually clipped in, which is kind of interesting. You get the impression that this is not necessarily standard equipment. Somebody's taken the time to set up this van. So you unclip the trolley. The trolley is large and heavy, um, and it does take a couple of you working together. And I know some characters have lower physical strength than others,
Mhm.
but John, you find that. You're able with Amanda to get it out. And then Percival kind of leads the way up to the door, and the security guard's standing there, and he's got a very grim look on his face as you guys pull it up the ramp and
Hmm.
approach the door. And he's looking at you and says, "Who the fuck are all you people? Percival, who are these people?" And Percival looks at him and says, "Don't worry about it. I told you I needed lots of people to help me move it." And the security guard just kind of shakes his head and says, "Man, you better not screw this up. Come on."
He is
Don't worry, we're all
yeah he
professionals.
has blackmailed everyone and told them all nothing.
So the security guard leads you guys inside. What you see is a large hallway. I mean, you would guess the ceilings are at least 20 feet up. The hallway itself is about 10 feet wide. This is enormous. And you see a number of open doorways. There's no doors as such, but there's open doorways. And he kind of walks ahead of you, and he's looking around, and the guard just starts talking. He says, "Okay, so there should be nobody here right now. I kind of arranged that. It wasn't easy. I'm hoping nobody will notice when they start looking at the documents in the morning. But if you do this right, nobody's going to notice anything until the shift change anyway. So let's get this done and get you out of here because I've got to turn the security cameras back on pretty soon."
Oh, I will breathe a sigh of relief at that.
So,
So
Let's
let's
go
go.
then. Yeah. Like, zoom, zoom,
Yeah.
so he
zoom.
eventually leads you to a unusual closed door in the back wall, and he looks around. He takes out a ID and touches it to the receptacle, the little ID box, and you hear a click. And then he opens the door. And then he looks at all of you and says, go on, get it, hurry up.
All right, let's go get it.
Let's go fast.
So you guys walk into the room. The room is actually fairly large. Again, 20-foot high ceilings. The room itself is like, you guess 30 feet on each side. It's a good sized room. It's very nice inside. It's temperature controlled. There's a very nice soft carpet. There's actually wood paneling and wainscoting on the walls, but there is only one object in the room, and you see it. It's the painting. It's behind a velvet line. So there's velvet rope there. And Percival looks very nervous, and he says, "Okay, you- get out the velvet, get out the velvet lap, and we need to wrap the painting before we take it down. Oi, oi, oi."
What's the trolley for? I mean, is this look like a hugely heavy painting that needs a motorized trolley?
It doesn't. Well, it's not a motorized trolley.
Oh,
It's a trolley, but it's a manual trolley. It is a heavy trolley. You guys have had to push it, move it around. Um, so he Percival
Uh,
basically directs you guys to get the trolley there behind. He removes the velvet rope, and then it says, "We gotta get the wrappings on right now, right now." And he
while we are doing this, I try. What's the painting about? What is the painting?
Okay.
I'll try to see.
You
Yeah.
see a
The
painting that looks to be of perhaps a young woman,
Mhm.
um, but she looks very haggard. Um, and her hair is she's laying on her back on something like a black velvet or a black silk cloth. Does appear to be naked except for some things wrapped around her wrist, perhaps bracelets. It's
Mhm.
only her upper chest and head that are shown. Her eyes are closed. She has a blank expression. And immediately above her head, sitting on some kind of shelf, just beyond where her head is resting, there is a human skull.
That's it.
It's a very simple looking painting.
I'll turn to Ace and say, okay, this is French realist painting.
I look at you very sourly. Like,
So he's really rushing you guys to get that velvet wrapping. He says, "Go on, we got to do it now. Do it now. Come on, come on."
all
And
right,
he's
let's put a move on it.
Okay. Yeah, but I'll be as cautious as
Yeah, but
possible.
like Tony, I'm taking a pretty good look at it too because there's a lot of folderol about this thing. I'm curious about it.
So you guys are looking at it, and Percival is very impatiently guiding you as to how to wrap this velvet
but not
cloth.
doing anything himself.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I'm not.
he's not doing anything with it. He's not touching it.
Gotcha.
He does help you position the trolley correctly. He helps you
Mhm.
unfold the wraps, and you notice something odd about the wraps. They have a lot of weird little symbols around the edges.
Mm,
Um, you don't know what they are. Um, let's see. But I'm,
probably, probably
does
French.
anybody have does anybody have a cult?
Nope.
Nope.
No,
No.
no.
So yeah. So um yeah, he guides you. There's also some bungees that you use to they look like specially designed ones that you use to hold the velvet wrap in place. He seemed particularly
Mhm.
concerned to cover the painting itself. He seems less concerned about the back of the painting or the frame, but obviously you have to use the frame to use the bungees to bind the painting, or to rather to bind the
Yeah.
velvet to the painting. So
In the sorry, in the back of the painting, is there any kind of signature
not on the back of the painting, no,
or any kind of markings? Nothing.
nothing. All you see is the
Okay.
large hooks that are used to affix the painting to the wall.
And
Interestingly enough, go ahead.
there's not like a museum placard that says like, "Oh, this is the blah blah blah,
No, no,
famous
there is
famous
not.
for
Now,
murdering
now, if
everyone that's ever seen it." That's what.
not on the
Mhm.
painting, but there is a stand that was just behind the velvet rope that has a little writing on it that says, and it's kind of the sort of thing you see in museums. It says "Mors Aman Est," the famous painting behind the Byrne family curse,
But
and it gives.
does this room look like a place where people would come to look at the painting, or it looks like a, I don't know, warehouse or something?
As-
Well, it doesn't look like a warehouse room. It does look like a
Yes,
display
Yeah, it's
room,
a
it's
fancy
nice,
room.
but mm, it's a
but
fancy
there.
room.
This is the
Yeah.
yeah. But and there's no other doors. There's no windows. You do see some
Mm.
very small vents for the AC ventilation, climate control. But the only way in or out of the room is the door you came in through.
Hmm.
Okay.
And you notice Percival was very impatient about getting this velvet wrap on the painting. And then it's like once you had it on, he seemed to calm down a bit. And he actually gave you very good instructions for how you would get the painting off the wall and um, into the trolley. It's not super heavy, but he clearly wants you to be careful handling it.
And he never
Uh,
goes past where the velvet rope was, does he?
no, he does not. In fact, he's
Yeah.
standing over where he hung it up and giving all his directions from there.
I find it very strange that I was brought here to wrap a painting.
A
Very
painting,
weird.
yes. All of
Yeah,
us,
especially
but
me. I'm a girl.
Should we
Well,
go
that's the
now?
weird thing is that you're actually stronger than some of the guys. So anyway, yes, go ahead.
uh,
What were you saying, Miguel?
Should we go now?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. So Percival, once you guys have it wrapped, you have it down off the wall. It's in the trolley. Percival, you see him kind of exaggeratedly wipe the back of his hand across his forehead. Woo! Boy, I'm glad we had that done quickly. Okay, let's get it
uh,
out of here.
uh, I have a question. I suppose my phone has a camera, right?
It does.
Can I record a video?
Oh,
When
you're the
you
worst.
take out your camera, Percival immediately
Yeah, yeah,
throws
yeah,
up
yeah.
the.
No, no. I just as we are leaving, I'll just step back for a few feet and try to snack out the phone and just play and just record just a little video of them, not me, them pushing the painting out. just about 10 seconds, and then I'll keep the I'll guard the
And
phone again.
I'm
I'll
just going
just
to
pick
So
up the phone
loudly
again.
say, like, where's Tony Trask? Where is Tony Alphonse Trask of the New Jersey Trasks?
let me say, describe to me very carefully how you're trying to do what you do, and I'll give you an idea of what your role will be.
Okay, okay. So we envelop the painting in velvet, right?
Yes,
Put put the painting in the trolley.
yes.
As we are leaving the room, I'll just walk slowly enough to be about 10 feet
10 feet behind.
behind them
10
all.
feet behind.
Yeah, 10 feet behind.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and then slowly take my phone out and record just a 10 second video of them,
Percival.
including Percy. Yeah, leaving the room and then put again the phone
No one's
away.
going to
Okay.
recognize
Roll,
Percy. I mean,
roll your snake.
he's in
Roll your
unmatching
snake.
clothing. And
Can I make a perform? No, no, not
I was
performance.
about to say, based on how you
It's
described it, this is not a performance check.
yeah. This is a sneak. Okay. With agility or wits or with what?
I think this one would be a agility. You're trying to
Okay.
do something physically
Yeah.
that you don't want them to see, and you want it to be quick. You're just hoping they won't
Okay.
notice.
So I roll a 17 minus one from agility, so it's 16, and the sneak is a +1 or
Yeah,
nothing.
sneak is a skill everyone gets.
A skill,
So it's
so 17.
17. Okay. So do
Yeah.
the rest of you? Does anybody want to roll a to see if you notice?
yeah, I'll take a chance. I do not, though, because that is a 7. So.
Okay. Does anybody else want to try? Amanda or John?
Yeah,
What was the rule?
To see if you to
17.
see if you yeah,
investigation.
to see if you notice Tony kind of hanging
Oh,
back
okay.
trying to take pictures. So what'd you get,
Uh,
Amanda?
Yeah.
I rolled a
I rolled a
14.
14.
So Amanda, you notice that Tony kind of hangs back a little bit and he's got his phone fished out.
Hmm.
I wink at her.
And I smile. I'll let him do it because I'm bored. This is stupid.
Okay. So Tony,
I will
you
distract
go
the others and Percy to make sure he doesn't notice.
okay.
Oh, how do you do that? I'm curious now.
Yeah, describe that. How do you distract them?
Okay. How I distract him? Well, the thing is that I have to distract Percy also. So,
Yeah, it
Oh my
can't be
word!
anything
Look at
feminine.
this run in my stockings. Like,
It can't. I was about to say,
ooh.
I'm going to grumble, and
Percival
I'm
pays
going
you
to
no mind. Yes.
yeah, I'm going to fall on the floor. I'm going like, oh, I broke a heel.
And Percival looks over at you and says, "Oh, you silly! What are you doing? Get up! Get up!"
Oh, I'm
He
I'll
shakes
so
help
his
her
head.
up
so bored,
gallantly.
Percy. I just I'm getting dizzy.
I've been in jail once, and I don't want to go back there. So let's get this out of your.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'll
So,
pick her up and kind of hustle
so
her along.
Tony notices something very interesting. You go to open your
Hmm.
camera, and it fails.
Oh,
Oh,
And you
oh,
also notice you have no
okay.
signal.
hmm.
Hmm.
Modern horror.
Okay, tough. Maybe next
But you
time.
don't need a signal to take a video. You just,
Yeah, but I have no camera.
yeah.
The camera isn't
That's
working
tough.
on the phone.
That's tough.
So you
Yeah.
guys head out into the hallway. The security guard is there. He very quickly shuts the door, locks it, and he says, "Come on, come on, come on! Let's go, let's go,
We're
Percival! You're
going.
taking too
Good
long."
grief! Everybody's in such a rush.
Yes, you're right. You don't have to be so pushy. So, um, you guys make your way down the hall. Everything you could hear the creak of the wheels. You can hear the echoes from the hard corners of this oversized hallway. It's like you see cameras, you see you see all sorts of things, but you don't hear anyone. It's completely
Hmm.
empty.
Yeah, this is weird.
And Percival looks over at the security guard and says, "Wow, how'd you get everyone out of here?" And the guard says, "You don't worry about how I do my side. You just make sure I get my cut." And Percival said, "Well, of course I will get you your cut. Everyone gets that cut. I am honest. I am a honest person."
Of course you are,
Yeah.
Percy. Of course you are.
And the guard just kind of looks at Percy, shakes his head, and says, "Let's go. Come on." And he kind of leads the way down there. And he opens the door, and you guys can go ahead and take it outside.
Do the security guards here have name tags or identification
Yeah,
tags?
yeah.
You would suspect that they do,
But they're
but
not visible.
this
This.
guy's is covered, so it's like he doesn't want you to know who he is.
Mhm. Okay.
So
All right, we load it
Okay.
in
Let's.
and try to get out of here.
Yeah.
yeah, so the security
As
guard is
quickly as
standing there
possible.
by the door, watching you guys while you take the painting to the van. And Percival is all but dancing with excitement. And he's making these little happy noises.
He's
Yes,
berging
we
out.
got it. Yeah, he's very happy. And so
Do I notice Percy to go during the heist? Go for the gun again, for his gun again. Try
no, he
to,
didn't touch it again.
Okay. Okay.
No. So he's kind of watching you guys get in the van. He's directing you, right? He's not doing it himself. He's directing you. So of course you get it back up in
Mm-hmm.
the van, right?
And
And
strap it
Yep.
in or click it in. Yeah.
okay. So you've got it strapped in, you've got it clicked in, and then what do you do?
Let up the ramp, close the back doors,
Okay.
then get in the driver's seat.
We are now nope, not yet.
Oh no. Now we're in round time.
Yep.
You guys hear the sound of
Of
howling.
course.
Howling.
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 Oh, okay. Then we're
And
fine.
and you hear
There's one thing I've learned about the Sikory private library. It's that dogs can't hurt you.
so the sound comes from the direction of the building.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys do?
Behind us.
Behind you.
Behind us.
What do you do?
That sounds like a
Percival
security
turns in
guard
the
I'll-
direction.
problem. Is that?
Percival turns
I'll
in the
get in
direction
the
of the
van.
sound.
Yeah, if that's guard dogs, yeah, we need to be in the van. Like,
Yeah. I'll get in the van. Yep.
So you go to get in the van. Percival's
Mhm.
just standing there and he says, "Oh my God."
Are you going to stay there, Percy?
So do you guys look to see what's behind you?
Yes.
Okay.
not until I get in the van. Yeah.
Well, you won't be
Yep,
able to
yep,
see it from
yeah.
inside the van, probably. I don't know.
Oh no! What a horrible state of events that would be.
I mean,
And you're really,
I don't
Yeah.
care. I get in the van. I get in the van. I don't care. I don't want to see the doggy.
Team
No,
van, give me
no.
some
I'm
knuckles there,
reckless,
Tony.
So-
I'm reckless and fearless. Of course I look.
so you see standing by the doorway and by the security guard,
Mhm.
4 large, weird-looking dogs, wreaths of flame and smoke around their bodies.
Oh.
Oh,
They are enormous. They're bigger than the biggest mastiff you've ever seen. And then they grab the guard. One
Well,
each hand, one on each leg, and the guard screams.
well, that's our cue to leave.
Help me,
Let's
help me,
go.
help me! Ah!
that's his cut.
Ace, turn the
Yeah.
van on, please.
I'm
Let's
turning
go.
the van on. Yeah. Like,
I don't want to know what the fuck is
Do I
is down there.
do I see them in the rear view camera thing?
You do see
Did
Oh,
them
you
in the
Lord.
rear view.
did
Do
you
I
saw
see
that,
the guy
guys?
getting torn up?
So he is approximately 40 meters away.
Oh, that's probably.
And those things, you see fire come out of their mouths and they start biting off chunks of his limbs. And the security guard is just screaming. You've never heard screams like this. He's a man, but it's like almost like a woman screaming. It's high pitched wailing. Um, and we are
Oh,
effectively in initiative, but you don't need to roll yet. Yes, actually you do. Sorry. So everybody roll initiative 1d6 and whatever your
Mhm.
modifiers are, and tell me what they are.
6.
I rolled
With agility, right?
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
I go on 7.
3 for me.
and one for me.
Oh dear. Okay, 3 for
Three for me.
Tony and 2 for John. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And I've done my roll.
But I'm going to
So
hold my
Percival is just
action because they're behind me, so I can't reverse yet.
yeah, Percival is standing squarely in your way, as is everyone else.
Percival, I'm not as worried about.
So everyone make a TN15 wits check as you hear the screaming and the sounds of the animals eating it or whatever they are.
Okay.
18.
Okay, so John and
19.
Amanda made it.
I make it with a
Okay.
19, yeah.
Natural 20 for me.
Good gracious. Excellent. So you guys handle it. So you're shaken, but not that shaken. You're
Yeah, we're
focused on
probably
getting
we're
the
probably not even processing what we're seeing. Yeah.
Yeah, those are big dogs. Let's go.
so Percival is just he's just standing there gobsmacked. And
uh, just, just to make sense of this all. Me and Ace are inside the
Yes.
van, right?
Yes.
yes, you guys are
The okay. The painting is inside the van.
Yes.
and you've got John and Amanda and Percival standing behind the van.
Percival
Oh,
outside,
yeah. This sounds pretty
behind,
good.
Okay, I'll push Percival inside the thing.
and I'll
That's
I'll t-
that's $500,000 at current split.
Okay. So what do you guys do?
Let's inside the van.
well,
Yeah.
Okay.
let's go.
Okay.
Ace, do your thing.
You're in the
So
way,
when
I say, but I have it in reverse and have my foot on the brake.
so when Percival sees you guys start moving, then he moves and he says, "Let go, let go, let's go." And he's clearly very nervous at this point. And
Oh
he
God!
pulls open the side door of the commercial van and jumps in and then he gets down on all fours next to the painting and covers his head right there behind the driver's seat. He doesn't even close the door.
Once
Okay,
everybody's inside, I'm immediately throwing it in reverse and then putting
And
it
he
into
says,
drive.
"Fuck, fuck, fuck. Oh, I didn't think that would happen. Oh, my."
What is our way out, Mister Exit Strategy? We can't go through the dragon's teeth, so how are we getting out of here?
It's the only way we have out. Go, go.
Uh, yeah, for lack of a better plan, I'm going to see if we can make it there before they can lift those drums up again. Although I suspected they started doing that the moment we crossed the threshold.
So
in the meantime, I'll just take my phone out. Do I have a signal now?
you do not.
Oh fuck. Okay, let's go.
So meanwhile, while you are backing up, and I assume somebody was wise enough to shut the van door,
Yeah,
because
hopefully.
otherwise things and
Yeah.
people may begin falling out. Um, So you guys, somebody gets up and he says, "Percival, you moron," or something like that, and shuts the door. And he's cowering. He's cowering behind you, and he's saying things like, "Oh, I didn't think it would be like that. I didn't think that would happen. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear."
Brilliant plan. Brilliant plan, Percy. Thanks a lot.
It's
Well,
not my fault. I didn't know they had those things.
It is absolutely your fault. What are you talking about?
the security
So
guard is not going to tell them about you, Percy.
and they finish eating him. I mean, they've pulled him apart at this point. He's on fire and his guts are everywhere. And then four of them look in your direction. Ace, you see them in the rear view mirror, and one of them snorts flame 6 feet from its nostrils.
Yeah.
Those aren't
So
dogs.
so I assume you're going out the way you came in.
Yeah, I mean
It's
that's the
possible.
plan, but if I see
Oh.
something better, I'm happy to
Okay.
divert.
So the hounds start coming after you. What do you do?
Accelerate.
Are they fast?
Oh, they are fast.
Faster than the van?
Faster than the dead.
Is the van dead? We gotta work this logic puzzle out somehow.
So what do you do, Ace? You're in control.
I'm accelerating and bearing in mind that we're coming up on the dragon's teeth. So
Okay,
don't-
go
I
ahead
don't
and make
wanna
your
run
driving
into
check
them.
to maintain control, because what you're
Uh-huh.
effectively doing is asking this van to do things it was never designed to do.
4, 5,
And of course, in
6,
everybody's
7,
mind,
8,
everyone's thinking,
9,
go faster, go faster, go fast. Like the scene from
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. It's like,
28.
drive faster.
28.
Okay. So you are
Jesus.
a master at this sort of thing. The van actually does a slight back end slide, like you're trying to do a 180 or something. And
Hey, yes. Did you put a V8 in
No,
here?
no, but
All
I
of a
got the
sudden.
feel for it on the way in. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
so you are accelerating not as fast as you would like to, because
Right.
even as you get out onto the main maintenance road, the hounds are behind you. And the thing is, they're not howling. They're silent. But you see great gouts of flame coming out of their mouths and nostrils, and their eyes are red. And smoke pours off their shaggy coats.
Do we have a fire extinguisher?
Actually, there probably
In a
is one in the
commercial van, you
passenger side of the
probably do.
van.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bitty one there, there. So anyway, you guys race towards the gate, and to your surprise, it's wide open.
Okay.
Good, good, good. Go,
Okay.
go, go,
Yeah,
go, go.
I will take the invitation, but I in the back of my head, I'm like, yep, I expected that in a way. They want us to steal this thing for some reason.
So
I
in
will
any
barrel
event,
through.
so the hellhounds do start, and I just kind of told you what they are, but I think you guys already know.
No, I thought
So
they were those
they're-
new clone dire wolves.
yeah, lone
Yeah.
direwolves usually
Yeah.
don't belch flames, but yeah. Um, so they start to fall behind as you head out towards the main road. It's dark. It's late at night, and it doesn't appear anyone else is around. The only light available is the light of the moon, which is a crescent at this point. It's very close to the new moon.
Hmm.
And so it's kind of dark out. You can see the stars if you bother to look. And there are occasional street lights, but not many. This is a little bit away from this is a little bit away from Collier City. It's a little dark out here. So you guys
Any
are not
any
quite
other kind of movement, cars or people?
you don't see a thing. It's just you and the road and whatever's behind you, as far as you know.
Okay.
So you're headed down the road.
Where are we taking this thing, Percy?
What's that? Oh, yes. Did you lose them? And he goes and looks out the back, one of the windows in the back door.
They stopped chasing, I say menacingly.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, that was absolutely terrible. On
What
the other hand, I won't have to give him his cut, so I'm not sure.
what
Anyway,
what were those things, Percy?
I have no idea. I do art. I don't do whatever that thing was. I don't do that. Uh, I let's just get to the building. I get out of that passenger seat, Tony. I need to direct Ace. Come on. And he comes up and starts pulling impatiently at your shoulder.
I am
Well,
meanwhile trying to get myself very loose, like, taking left turn, right turn, left turn, like mixing it up.
So you guys are going down the road. What are you doing? Describe what each of you is doing while this is happening. Tony, do you give up that seat?
yes, yes. I'll give up the seat, but I'll just try to see if there's.
Pickpocket the
Uh,
gun off of him. I'm sorry. I sneezed there.
I'll try to see if there are any drones following us, because we saw drones inside, right?
Okay. Let's see, you have investigation, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and make an investigation roll and tell me your total.
Okay. Oh, forget it. It's 14.
Okay. Yeah, you don't really see anything. It's dark.
Mm-hmm.
The sky looks nice. But you've always liked the skies in South Florida, when it's not raining this time of year. And this is the wet season in South Florida. When it's not raining, it looks quite nice out. It's just a little humid and warm.
And another
Um,
thing, do I have phone signal in my phone?
that's the funny thing. You
No.
still don't.
Okay.
You still don't have a signal.
I also want to keep an
Like a
eye out.
teenage girl.
Okay, let's have now, do you have investigation? I can't recall.
I don't.
Okay, go ahead and make a search check then.
Okay, I roll a 16.
Okay. So John is looking out the back of the van, and you see something. It's behind you. It's kind of dark at first, and then you notice it has headlights, four of them to be precise, two on each side. Something's weird though, because it looks really wide,
Like a truck?
Hmm.
kind of like a truck, but somehow that shadowy outline doesn't really look like a truck. Trucks are kind of tall and blocky. This is more like wide and low.
A
It's an
tank.
armored personnel carrier.
Yeah, you can't recognize the outline. So, what speed are you driving at, Ace?
At this point, a fairly decent clip, unless I start seeing a lot of traffic, at which point I'll try to blend. But for now, I'm just trying to put distance between us and them.
Right. So, this van, in game mechanics terms, has a speed of 2.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it would top out probably around 100 miles an hour.
I'm
Do you want
probably
to
not going to
drive?
try to push that hard because it's top heavy. So
Yeah. So, Percival is just looking out the front and he's saying, now, when we get up to this point, you'll see this building, and then you'll take a left. And then I'll tell you the rest of the way when we get there. I have a great place to hide this thing. And we definitely want to hide this thing because it's worth money. And also, I have to have a chance to look at it, obviously. He's just kind of babbling on. It's like,
yeah,
his eyes are kind of staring. His carefully coiffed, green tinted hair is a little bit mussed. Um, his earrings are jangling. In fact, you notice he's lost one of them. He's looking very
oh
nervous,
no,
but
he lost an earring. Is he bleeding?
yeah, no, no, it looks like it just it was like a little dangly earring on like a little chain connected to the
Hmm.
hook, and
But
he has
still,
pierced
it's
ears.
enough for a wizard to kill him
Yeah.
with.
So he's giving you telling you what your next turn will be, and he's looking out the front window and looking out the side window. What's anybody else doing? So I've heard about John, I've heard about Ace, I've heard about Tony. What's Amanda doing?
I'm going to, no, I'm thinking if I'm going to look at the painting, jumped into the back of the van.
Well, but the painting is
But I
on the
can't,
trolley and covered with the
yeah,
cloth,
because
right?
it's completely, yes, because it's completely covered. Hmm.
But you got to see it while we were wrapping it, so maybe you're just
Yes.
thinking about what you.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the painting, and I'm thinking,
Make a knowledge check, actually. I'll let you make two checks. One is a knowledge check, and the other is an investigation check. If you have investigation, I
okay,
think you do.
so yes, I have. So knowledge, I didn't roll very well, so it's 13,
Okay.
and oh, I'm rolling very bad. The investigation was 11. So I
You
need,
have a weird feeling when you were wrapping this thing up. You can't be sure, but it's almost like the woman in the painting, just as you were putting the velvet on, opened one of her eyes and looked at you. But
Mm-mm.
you're sure that can't be right. And there's nothing in the history of the painting that you're familiar with that would suggest there's anything odd about it, other than it's considered to be the source of the Byrne family curse. And of course, only you know what Amanda thinks about that. You're a criminologist, so and a professional criminal profiler. So why would you you know
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
story?
believe in a curse. They were just insane and just,
Yeah, it's kind of like the Hope Diamond, right? Was the Hope Diamond really cursed? Well, it was. The Smithsonian hasn't burned down, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yet.
BLM hasn't had their chance.
I have a good
Oh,
Hope Diamond story after this.
okay. So, um, John is looking out the back window, and he notices the headlights are getting brighter and closer.
I will mention that to Ace. We are being followed and they are getting closer.
Hmm.
Ace, what do you want to do?
I tell Percival, look, we're going to have to start taking turns. Like, we're going to have to try to shake these guys.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, we're being followed? Oh dear.
Yes,
Please
Percy.
let me look at my GPS. And he takes his phone out and he looks at it and he gets this funny look on his face like, well, my signal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
shocker,
yeah.
Percy.
I'm going to start. Yeah, I'm going to start trying to make some turns to get us.
So you
And
do
if I
eventually.
know of a parking garage around, I'm going to see if I can get us in that direction.
Okay, that's a good idea. This is kind of out in the country and there isn't much out here. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Um, I
Uh, how
guess you can make
far?
us.
How far are we from the city?
Oh, you're still a good probably 15 minutes away.
Hmm,
Gotcha.
okay.
So go ahead and make an intelligence roll, Ace. See if you can think of any facilities out here. Um,
Yeah. Now, if it's far enough out, like a tractor supply or anything where big machinery, we might be able to hide amongst.
okay.
18, 19 with intelligence. I don't have
Okay.
a skill particularly.
Yeah, you have +1 for your intelligence.
Yeah.
So you are aware that there's a left coming up that you can take that will lead you to a fairly large lemon farm.
Okay.
It's um, and it's not too far down the road, and there are some roads that kind of branch off that further on. The problem you have out here is that it's typical South Florida. Everything is big tracks. Everything's big
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
So There aren't a whole lot of side roads this far out because of the size of the tracks
But
involved. They just never built them.
an orchard is a really good place to do
Yeah.
some dodging
There's
and
a lemon
ducking.
orchard. There
Yeah.
is. There's a farm with a lemon orchard.
Yeah, that
So,
sounds good.
okay. So go ahead and make your drive roll,
Okay.
and I will make mine.
Ace, how
That
about killing
is
the
a
lights?
22.
That's good. So that prevents the worst result, but it will not prevent some result. John, you suddenly see those lights get closer, and that's when you notice flames are belching out of the side of whatever this is. It's
What
now
the?
close enough. John, it looks like a car, but it's not like any car you've seen before.
It's
It's an
pristine.
enormous black sedan. It doesn't look quite like what you've seen before. It's a gigantic car, and you're starting to hear the motor. It's loud. It's a big, loud rumble.
Like a hot rod. Is it a Dragula?
Can I try? Can we do we also hear it, or is only John?
John hears it first, and then eventually all of you feel it like a vibration through the van.
So can we try to shoot the car that is chasing it?
What's that?
Can I shoot the car from the window?
You want to try? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
how do
Now,
you do this? How do you say window? Which window? How are you doing this?
yes, I'm thinking. So does the van do I have a window that I can open in the where I'm seated, or do I have to open?
You actually, I think you would in a standard commercial van.
Okay.
Yes. So you
So
shouldn't
I
have to
roll
open the
up the
door. You can
window.
probably roll down the window.
Yes. Okay. Of course,
Is this
I rolled really bad. So
That's okay. Tell me what your roll is.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. So you guys hear this thunderous roar. I mean, it's that big 357 goes off, and you guys, I mean, Ace, go ahead and do a wits check, Ace, because it could startle you.
okay? 9. So it died.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of, you know, you react badly to that, and for a moment the vehicle is slightly unbalanced
Do I take a fear
as you
point
kind of.
or?
No.
Yeah, I'll turn to them and say, "This painting is not worth my life," and I'll just run back to the truck, to our vehicle, try to open the back door and to throw the painting out.
Okay, so you guys, so
Uh,
Amanda
no,
has
no.
just taken a
I'll
shot
try
at
to stop
something.
him because it's worth it's worth his life.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going to die for this painting.
I'll stand in front of him.
It turns out that unbeknownst to you, it is now worth your life.
So Tony's in full panic mode. Percival is shouting, "What are you doing, you stupid? Get to your feet, you
I'm not
moron!"
going to die for this stupid thing.
It's worth it. It's worth the risk. What is wrong with you, Tony? And no, don't let him do it. Cut him if you have to with your sword.
What? Sorry.
John has this really nice
He has a
katana he's been
sword.
carrying around.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
Whatever is going on, just leaving the painting behind is not going to solve it.
So Amanda
So now
takes her
what?
shot.
Mm-hmm.
So Amanda takes her shot. You don't think you hit it. I mean, it's kind of hard to shoot at a vehicle from another vehicle when both are in motion. But what you hear is the sound of a horn. It's almost like a foghorn, but it's sounding rapidly. And the vehicle approaches closer. Just going like some kind of weird mechanical war cry. And huge flames belch out the side pipes. And you see 8 glowing eyes in the windshield. Because you startled Ace.
And are they all in like weird, like non-pairs? It's like random disbursement of
No,
eyes.
there's something definitely that looks very strange to you, Amanda. Those eyes are not looking like what you would expect. And it's like because Ace is startled and the vehicle was he actually slowed down, and it's like this thing behind you suddenly it came much closer. It's maybe 100 feet behind you now.
Hmm. Jesus.
So Ace, you're trying to get down the road. You've got Percival shouting at people. You hear John shouting. You hear Tony shouting. Um, what are you doing, man?
I'm sticking to my job and trying to tune them out unless they tell me something.
Okay. So
And I'm
go
making
ahead
my
and
way for the orchard. Yeah.
okay, go ahead and make another roll.
25.
Okay. All right. And it does not gain on you further. The horn is now sounding behind you constantly.
Hmm.
And the sound of the revving literally vibrates every surface within the van.
Can
After
I
it's
can I kind
Go
of
ahead.
drift? Can I kind of drift to the left or the right one, like wherever it isn't, and then slam the brakes on and do the Maverick maneuver where
So
I
you're
hit
wanting
the
to
brakes
do
and
kind of like a bootlegger reverse?
yeah. Well, I'm not trying to reverse necessarily. I'm trying to find a place where there's a way to turn, and then right at the last minute, I'm going to veer, hit the brakes so he flies past me and overcommits to going forward, and then tuck out either to the left or the right.
Okay. Go ahead and make your because this is a stunt. So
Yep.
go ahead and make your roll.
Nice 28.
Okay. So you guys, so John and Tony are not in their seats.
Yep.
Amanda is, but she's kind of trying to hang out the window.
Well, it
Percival
will
is in his
throw them
seat, but
forward, hopefully,
he's
so it won't throw them
yeah.
out the
So
back.
it's this thing wallows like a boat in a gale. So it's in fact, there's a couple of times when you're worried as you're committing this maneuver that it might just overturn on you. It doesn't. So John and Tony
Hmm.
make an agility check
Oh, not agility.
to
Okay.
avoid falling to the floor.
Okay.
Amanda, you make an agility check to avoid losing control of the gun in your hand.
Okay.
Okay. 0 for me.
You fall flat on your ass.
By the way,
Eight,
you're all welcome for
18 for
saving your
me.
lives.
Would you roll, Amanda?
18.
Okay, so you barely hold on to your gun. It's like you have no idea what Ace is doing, but it's almost like he's trying to take off.
Ow!
John?
I I rolled a 12.
Okay, so you're able to you go down to one knee, but you don't fall down completely. The vehicle is shaking like crazy. So here's what happens. Ace does this sudden maneuver where he pulls over and hits the brakes. This is when Ace you discover this vehicle's brakes really are as crappy as you thought they were.
Yep.
Not too great. The other vehicle blows past you, unbelievably fast, unbelievably loud. You feel a wave of heat wash over all of you as it passes by. Amanda, since you are kind of halfway out the window, um, take a fear point. Because what
Oh,
you see when it goes past you is like nothing you would expect to see of an automobile.
The dogs are driving the car.
it's a Dracula. I'm telling you, man.
There's something bizarre about it. It's not normal. It's like the body was actually in motion, and you couldn't quite tell if the wheels were rolling or they were simply moving like feet. It's a weird thing, and it was deeply discomforting to you. And also, you didn't like all the flames going right past your face. Um, so You manage to get stopped, Ace, but then you see that vehicle comes to do a technical. Apply your grease monkey.
Okay. 13.
You see it stop at an impossibly short distance. There is
Yeah,
no
damn.
way any normal vehicle could do that. And its rear wheels make smoke as it turns around in place in the middle of the road. What do you do?
I'm committing to my left turn and gunning it to try to put some more distance between us.
Okay, you gun it, and this van tries. It's not doing too well, unfortunately. And the
Are there warning lights flashing on the dashboard of our car?
oh, you
No.
the lights, the dashboard's lit up like a Christmas tree.
What?
Every system on that van is complaining. It's like,
Mm.
EBS engaged, possible engine problem. It's like,
Check
it's like
engine light is on. Like, damn it.
it's like the
I,
van has no idea what you're doing to it, but it doesn't like any of it. Um, so you are going down the road. You have managed to open up a little space between you and the vehicle behind you. But again, the horn sounds and it is back on your trail and it is nightmarishly fast. Ace, you can't imagine how a vehicle that big is accelerating that quickly. It's got to have something like some kind of nitromethane powered drag motor in it or something.
yeah.
1,000, 1,200 horsepower. It's an unbelievably large and powerful vehicle.
We may not be able to outrun this thing.
You think?
Contingency plans are y'all's,
Well,
y'all's bailiwick.
let's just open and throw the painting away.
Thank you. Thank someone. Thank.
Percival hears you say that,
I
Amanda.
guess
He's
you
like,
are right.
no, no, are you crazy? We have to have the painting. We have to have the painting.
Let's show
No!
the painting in Percy.
Percy pulls out a gun. It comes out of his waistband and he's pointing it at everybody in the back and he's kind of waving it at all of you and he's very nervous. He is, nobody backs out of the deal. We take the painting.
Mine is bigger than yours.
Mine is pointed at you and I'll shoot you if you try to point it at me.
I'll just slowly raise my hands as if, yeah, don't shoot, but I'll activate my arm holster and point my
Okay.
gun at him.
Boy, this is going to be fun.
So let's do initiative at this point again, guys. Can you beat Percy?
I
Okay.
rolled
Mine.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 6, but it's 5 for me.
I rolled a 5. Yeah.
I rolled a 1, but it's a 3 for me. So.
Okay, well you've all beaten Percy. What do you do?
That's lean to the left so that the minimal amount of blood and brain matter and bone gets on me as they.
I'll tell him I'm not going to shoot you here because I want money, but point that gun down.
Had no money, and he's very nervous. He's still shaking. He's not pointing the gun down, but then no money with no painting. Why can't you pay attention? There's no money with no painting. We have to get away, Ace. We have to get away.
I'm
Trying
going
to get away because I
going to
suspect
tell
they don't
them.
care if we have the painting or not at this
Well,
point.
he's blackmailing us, so why don't we just get rid of him?
Don't think I won't shoot. Don't think I won't protect myself. Don't think I won't protect that wonderful painting.
Okay, I'll shoot him in the face.
Okay.
Alrighty, so you take a shot. Roll your attack. Now, bear in mind you are unskilled.
Yep, I know. And that
no.
which also
He also has. You are also in a unstable moving vehicle.
yes, I
And
know.
whose driver
So
is now leaned as far left as possible. This is
yeah,
not good.
Yeah.
you should hope that he doesn't miss because there's no telling where the bullet will
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, and
yep.
and this is with agility, right?
This is with agility, but it is a -2 because you do
A
not have
-2,
ranged
so
combat.
minus. In my case, -3 total.
Yeah,
So 14.
yeah. With the minuses for other things, you do miss. So let me see what happens to the bullet. Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, it
So you don't hit
escapes.
anyone.
Oh,
You don't hit anyone. Ace, you see the windshield shatter.
oh no! There goes all the aerodynamics I carefully considered when I was
Oh, God.
bastards.
I'm gonna shoot Percy. I don't care.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, I'll pick up the sword because I haven't.
Actually, with the back door open and the window busted out, we're
Well,
probably
the back door
okay.
hasn't been opened yet. The back door hasn't been opened
Well then
because
open the
John.
back door. We need the wind
And
flow.
I rolled a 17, so it's actually an 18 with agility.
Okay, but you don't have ranged combat either.
No, no, no. But I rolled
Okay.
a 17, so it's
Yeah, I think you do hit him. So go ahead and roll the damage for your heavy pistol.
that is 1d8 plus 2.
Okay.
Let's hope. Oh, I rolled an 8. So
Oh
it's a
well, you
10.
did maximum damage. So poor Percy. So let's see. Me take a look at his stats, which I hadn't actually been looking at because I didn't actually expect it to become a gun battle.
You have to be kidding us, Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry
At the
guys.
bare minimum, we were going to feed him to the car.
Yeah.
So you managed to shoot Percy square in the chest, and his eyes kind of cross for a minute, and then he slumps down and drops the pistol.
I always hated this fucking queen.
It is pretty funny, though, that the guy that took great pains to stand as far away from the painting is the first guy to die.
Is it? Is it funny? Is it possibly? Is it fated?
Is it
Who knows?
karma?
Yep.
I want to check
So
if he's
anyway,
dead or unconscious or whatever.
so he is literally at 0 hit points. So he's
Okay.
basically he is unconscious. He's not dead, but he
If
will
we
be
take a
dead if he
long
does.
rest, is the car going to catch up with us?
So when you guys start doing the shooting, you hear a sound like laughter between the horn blasts coming
Of
behind
course,
you,
yeah.
Okay,
and then
so
more revving.
I'll open the side door and throw Percy's body outside.
Oh wait! I want to take something from it to check his pockets and see if he has some something.
The key to the floor safe.
Yeah, for example.
Oh, we'll bust that
Yeah.
floor safe one way or the other. When we get out of there.
Unfortunately, all he has is his phone.
Mm-hmm.
You do notice the
I'll
holstered
take
out.
the phone.
Yeah, you got the phone, and but there's no money, and he wasn't even carrying any ID.
Motherfucker.
No doubt on the on the internet he found out that you really shouldn't have your ID when you do criminal jobs or something.
Yeah.
So, never mind if you get pulled over by the
No.
cops on the way there. So
Let's feed it to the truck. Let's
I've
feed
got
the
my passport stitched into my jacket.
So do we throw the painting away? We vote to throw the painting away.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also throw the painting away.
Okay, so describe in what order you guys are doing what and how
Okay.
you're doing.
Okay, so I'll throw him away outside the car. I'll open
Okay.
the side door and throw him outside.
Then
Okay.
we'll try to throw the painting because I guess it's heavy.
The painting probably you'll have to open the back door and
You'll have to open the back door, unclip it, and then push the whole trolley out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are going down the road. The car is very close to you at this point. It's clearly getting ready to ram you. You open the back door, you push out the painting. The whole front end of the car behind you, which you see clearly for the first time, is this, again, enormous black sedan. It's like the grill opens like a mouth and absorbs the painting as it comes out. And then it hits the brakes, comes to a complete stop behind you, and as you're going away, it just fades.
I wasn't expecting this to work.
Okay, so anyway, the lemon orchard is just up here.
Well, I'm a criminologist, I know how these things work.
Okay, what's our next steps here?
What the fuck was that? First of all,
A weird vehicle.
A defense system. Yeah.
Yes, like the dogs. Should we go to Percy's house and find the
Not
evidence that they have
today,
again?
right?
Yeah.
No,
When-
the car didn't eat him though. Oh, yeah. We
The
need
car
to move
ignored
on
him
that.
completely.
We need to move on that. Yeah, before his body's discovered, because then the police. Will be all
yeah.
over
So
the place.
first we should go to his house. Yes,
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know what the fuck we delve into. This is not
Well,
normal.
first, I'm going to try to get us back to where we were, so we can get a decent car to do all this with.
Okay, so you are
Do
driving
I
into Collier City.
do I have signal?
Once the car disappears, you have signal.
Okay.
Or once the painting disappears, you have signal.
Yeah.
That's true. But you're not sure about that because that's not when you checked it.
Yeah.
You.
So, again, what are you guys doing?
Getting us back to our cars so that we can.
Okay. So, you go back to the park. The vehicle is a little rough. It's running rough at this point.
Yeah.
The windshield is gone. There's,
Mhm.
glass inside the vehicle, as well as glass you assume somewhere around the road. Um, the whole thing smells of gun smoke from all the weapons that have been fired inside.
Should we burn the vehicle?
Amanda.
Not in the middle of in the park. We need to do it in. Actually, you probably should have gone and get Percy's body, but well, he didn't have an ID on him, and we took his phone, so they will take time. But we should go to his house, because if they go there and they finally discover
Yeah.
who he is, and they discover that he has evidence against us, well, we're all going to be suspects.
Any of you have a vehicle?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
well,
all came here, right? So yeah.
So
Okay. So
let's
you
go.
got to drive the van back to the park so you can get your cars or however it is you came. What's your next step?
Anyone a smoker?
No, thank you.
Anyone have a set of matches on them?
Well, I've had. I'm a smoker, but
You vape.
yes, I vape.
I don't know how to turn a vape into a time bomb. So yeah, I'll just get the I'll just poke in the cigarette lighter on the van, and then once it's good and hot, I'll set it to one of the seats and get it going.
Okay. So take some effort on your part. I mean, this is going to take several minutes. And but you do eventually start a small fire. Bear in mind that most vehicles nowadays are
Yeah,
designed
don't
with
have a lot to burn.
and they're designed with fire retardant foam. So
Oh,
I,
with that in mind, then I would know better. Yeah.
I mean, you could make a technical roll and see if you can figure out a way to set the gas on fire.
12. So probably not. Oh yeah, we'll just leave it.
Okay.
I'll just wipe down the steering wheel as much as possible and such.
Okay.
And then leave the keys with it. Yeah.
Okay. So you leave the keys with the van. You
Yep.
leave the van. You guys go back and use your means of transport. What do you do from there?
I'll leave the van running. Even I'll leave the keys in the van with it running, and then open the door so that the dome light is on, and maybe we'll let the criminal element take this for us.
Okay. So, what do you guys do now?
Let's arrange a rendezvous and let's all drive to that place, and then we'll carpool to his house.
Yeah.
Okay. So who are you carpooling with? Which one of you?
Who's got the biggest car? Who's got the biggest?
I know Tony has an SUV.
Yeah.
I probably have the sleek car. Yeah.
So we'll
Around a
take,
Miata.
we'll take mine.
Okay.
Did you
All
say
right.
Miata?
Yeah. Well, it's probably the Miata that with the
probably
like V8.
I'm thinking more like a
Does Miata have a V8?
You can custom modify them. Yeah.
Oh,
They have
okay.
people who've actually shoveled V8s and those things. But no, there's probably sports car. Like he could have a Corvette. He could have
if I'm going to go that style, I'll have a Trident.
There you go. So anyway, you guys arrive at Percival's house.
All right. So let's see if we can. Where's Alphonse? Yeah, we'll knock on the door and then see. If
You mean Antoine?
Antoine? Sorry.
Yeah.
So you guys knock on the door, and nobody answers.
Okay.
Is the door open?
No.
Unlocked?
Put a shoulder into it.
It kind of resists. Do you guys want to make some strength checks?
Not me.
Well, not if there are windows. Yeah.
Okay. There are indeed windows. There are indeed windows.
Okay, let's try one.
Okay. The windows appear to be locked down, at least here on the first floor.
Nobody has lockpick.
No.
I mean, we're not going to
None of
sell
you,
the house
none of you are
later.
professional.
Yeah, we're not going to sell the house later. Let's start breaking things.
Yeah, let's just break a window and try to go with a rock and try to go inside. Yes.
Okay. So so there's like two windows by the front door. There's a couple of windows on the side, one in the rear.
Yeah,
Which
if he's
do you
got like
guys-
a bay window or a sliding glass door or something on the patio or something like that,
Okay.
the bigger
So-
the better. Yeah.
So this being South Florida, there's a lanai on the side. So once you get past the bug screen, there's a big glass sliding door with the curtains drawn.
Okay, let's try that one. I'll pick up a rock and break the window. I don't care.
Okay. So you break the sliding glass door. Okay. So there you go. You hear the glass shatter loudly.
Okay.
Let's go.
Listen a beat or two to hear if the security system goes off. And then, either way, we need to go in. So let's head to his office.
Okay. So you guys make your way upstairs. Everyone make either a investigate or a search, depending on whichever's better, and use wits.
A natural 20.
And 21 for me total.
Okay, Amanda, as you guys go ahead.
14 for me, so not great. But
Okay.
not bad.
John, what did you get?
I rolled a 5 if that matters.
It does not at this point. Amanda, you're the only one who notices. As you guys approach his office, you see that there is a box with keypad and numbers. Looks like kind of a central security box
Mhm.
of some kind. And you notice the readout is flashing red.
Hmm.
Mm.
What do
Okay,
you do?
let's open one. Yeah. Or is there four of them?
No, there's just one
Oh, okay.
box.
Okay, then yeah, let's open it.
Well, you take a look at it. It's a box
Yeah.
on the wall. It's not a box in the sense of opening. It's
And
shaped
it's
like a
not the one
box.
that he got the John's names out of, right?
No, 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 no. In fact, this is outside the office. This
Oh,
is in the
okay.
hallway outside his office. So, Amanda, you recognize that this is a security control box,
Mhm.
right?
Oh.
So this is what you use to control a home security system.
Mm-hmm. So
Except
it's
this one looks
flashing.
more. So this one looks more commercial grade. And when you look at it, the flashing red, you realize, of course, you have a background as a criminologist and all that. That was a silent alarm that was
Mm.
tripped.
Can I use the technical to try to turn it off?
Do you have technical?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Go ahead and give it a shot.
yeah,
So
and
I
failing that, Tony, you need to call in and lisp your way into explain to
Yeah.
the security company that that was a mistake.
in total with my bonus is a 19.
Okay. So you are able to disable the unit, but you are aware that what's happened is the silent alarm has been tripped, which means most likely the police have been notified.
Mm-hmm.
So we have minutes before they.
Probably so. Collier City Police Department is known to be surprisingly efficient. They have a lot of
Okay,
rich people who live in town.
then let's just take the floor safe with us if we can. Right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the door to the office is locked.
Ram it a few times with a shoulder.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make your strength checks.
16.
Roll an 18.
Okay. So, John, you really lean into it and you manage to force the door open. And there's the office. And yeah, so there's the chair he was sitting in and the desk. Everything's pretty much as you remember it.
Are there any documents on top of the desk?
No, everything looks pretty spick and span, nice and neat and clean.
Should we try to open or take the floor?
Yeah, let's look and see how it opens first, and then if it's something esoteric, then let's grab the thing and open it at our leisure.
Okay. So you guys go over and lift up the section of carpet that conceals the safe.
Mm-hmm.
What you see is a steel door. It's small, but it's a steel door, metal door of some kind. There's a pad on it that includes what looks like a thumb pad and a number of numbers.
Thumb pad. Did he
So
use the
yes,
thumb pad when he was getting the book out?
you didn't really notice. He was doing all this behind his desk.
Hmm.
Do okay. So I take handkerchief and I'll start. I'll go to the desk and I'll start to look through the drawers to see if I can
If he
notice.
has a spare thumb.
No, yeah, sure.
If
No, to
only we
see,
We'll
had.
just say
to see if I can see a notebook, a diary, something like that.
there are a lot of papers there. You do find a. Go ahead and make your search check or investigating.
Okay. 17.
Okay. So you do find what looks like some kind of day book or personal diary.
Okay, I take that one, and I'll
Mhm.
just go through to see if, by any chance, he has the combination for the safe written there.
Oh wait, you've got his butter phone, right? If he used the thumb to unlock it, maybe you've got a thumbprint on it.
Oh, wait, and I can use my. Wait a minute, I can use my Con Artist toolkit to see if I can imprint his fingerprint
There
to
you
some kind of.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. It's a con artist
It's gonna
toolkit.
take a
It's not
while.
a.
It's gonna take a
It's not a.
while.
It's not a police detective's
Yeah, yeah,
manual.
yeah. Okay. That was quite a
No, but
stretch.
if he's got cellophane tape, we might be able to lift his thumb print off of the screen of his cell phone and try it on the thumb pad or something.
Yeah. I mean, you can try. You got to remember, it's Apple Gorilla Glass, but you can try.
Oh, of course he has an iPhone.
So
Sorry,
when you take a look at
sorry.
it, you go.
It's iPhone month. Sorry,
Yeah.
didn't
When
mean
you
to
when you
imply
take a
that
look
that's a
at it,
bad thing.
when you take a look at it, it's like, yeah, there's lots of smeared stuff on there, but nothing like a clear fingerprint.
Oh God.
Ah, he's put the butt. He put the butt in the butter phone.
I'm gonna try 6969.
Yeah, that doesn't
Dude,
work.
dude.
1, 2, 3, 4. Um,
So
no.
Amanda, go ahead and make a knowledge roll. Amanda, go ahead and make a knowledge roll.
Yeah, like
No.
it's
We,
birthday.
we we should leave. We should leave.
19.
We should leave
So you
because
are aware of what this kind of safe is. It is a biometric safe. So basically, it's a newer safe that you have to both enter a number and use a
Okay.
thumb or fingerprint.
Oh no.
So
never
So
mind.
this means that somebody can't open it just by having the combination, and
Yeah.
it's
now let's
affixed to the
just put
floor as a steel
the
frame.
let's just put the right as it was and get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because blackmail material is recoverable, right? By law. So
So in the distance, you guys start to hear sirens.
Okay.
yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
go.
Run
Let's go.
away! Run away!
Let's not
So
talk again to each other for the next 10 years. Try to forget this.
so here's where we end up. It's very interesting. You guys, of course, are very nervous. I mean, what did the cops find? What did they find at the house? What happened when they respond? All this stuff. And yet, when you look at the local newspaper and look at the local newscast, there is nothing. It is silent. It's like nothing ever happened.
Hmm.
But
Yay, Sikory scholars.
a couple a couple of weeks later, you guys
Yeah.
see an announcement in the newspaper saying that Moore's Aman Est will be, for the first time in many years, displayed for public viewing.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Sure. Why not?
And that, ladies
At
and
Morton's
gentlemen,
funeral home, where where he happens to be interred.
that is the library job. So this one went a little
Oh,
sideways, and that's partly my fault. I forgot that
What?
I had actually specifically written that he would not use the gun to resist you guys throwing that thing out the back of the van. I got it confused with another part of the scenario.
oh no.
Um, he doesn't actually. He's not supposed to actually get in your way when you do that. He will use the gun to force you out of the van so he can go back and try to get it, but he won't.
Well,
He won't use the gun to stop you from throwing it out the back in the first
it
place.
only cost him his life, so that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, as you observed, he was quite obsessed about it.
Yeah. And
But
yeah, it wasn't just to prove that it was not a French realist painting.
Which it definitely is. We all
Yeah.
agree, right?
Yeah.
We all agree
Yes.
that that's
Yes.
absolutely what it is.
so, what did you guys think of the adventure today?
Good, very good. I
Do
enjoyed
you
it.
want to
Yeah.
pause the recording? Or-
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
we can do that.
Yeah, thank
So I'm going to say thanks everyone who is watching
you.
for watching. This adventure is one of the scenarios from the new book that was released today, Dark Corners, which is a supplement
Oh,
for the Darker RPG, which is available at the Red Room store. And it's very inexpensive, so I encourage people to go there, purchase it, and enjoy the contents. And
I'm going as we speak to get it.
and here's the thing: if you want to change anything therein, yes, there is a scenario that lays out the likely progression of the adventure. But as we saw tonight, things may go sideways. Characters may do things different than you expect. Feel free to adapt it to the needs of your campaign and your ideas for where the adventure seed
And the
goes.
miscreants that your players come up with.
Exactly. So everyone have a good night, and thank you for watching.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.